like for example, Shovel Knight, one of
Mhm.
the biggest speedrunning games of all time, and they the developers make that game around the speedrunning community. It's not
Yep.
they don't make it for the, the casual play. It's specifically for the speedrunning community. So they add challenges and little things for the speedrunning community. That game is I bet you if the speedrunning community wasn't like on top of that game would be dead. And episode 9. I know it's been 9 weeks of this. What's been up, man? Happy 4th, even though that was yesterday. What's up?
Yeah, happy 4th of July, America's birthday.
Yeah. Is it
Dogs.
America's birthday?
Now, I don't know what it is.
When is America's birthday? That's the real question. It's like 1775, but what's the day? We're going to start off with this trivia
When
question.
is America's birthday? Is the 4th of July, 1776.
1776. What?
It
July
is
4th.
believed, though, that the actual Independence Day was July 2nd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought July 4th is just when we got our independence. I didn't know that that was when we
Oh,
got
well, no,
like
no, yeah. Like, you're looking when, like, North America was founded. And,
right.
God, who knows? Depends on who you ask. Do
Yeah.
you ask the people who lived here before we came?
But wasn't there America before July 4th?
Technically, yes. I mean, we just were owned by Great Britain at that point.
Were we though? Because I
So I
thought
mean, I guess
we
you could say
escaped
on
to make
that day we were birthed from their clutches.
listen, okay, we had two factions. We separated. We had the Bear and the USEC,
Oh,
and
nice
we
segue.
came over here to start looting
That was a
and
slick segue.
build our what 13 hideouts. Right, there was 13 colonies,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, that was slick. I'm digging it.
But what's up, man? How's the wipe been treating you? By the way,
Um,
Tarkov wiped.
oh Jesus Christ. Very. It's let me see.
Let me see. He says, he's so
Already have 100 raids.
100, huh? I don't
Yeah.
know how many I have. I've been slowly falling away from it. I think like once you hit level 15, it just kind of I don't know something ruins it for me because
I'm
like I
24.
I race to get whatever it's called the flea market, and then after the flea market, the game is just like okay, well,
What is there to do at that point?
right, because I can just buy all the stuff I need for the hideout pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Um,
So
yeah, I mean,
pretty much you're just
yeah,
going in to grab like just more money to spend on the flea market. That's pretty much all you're doing. Unless
I mean,
you have like a
completing the
different
task and everything. I just really enjoy the gameplay. Like the gameplay is some of
yeah.
the most fun that I've had. Like today, like earlier today, like an hour ago, we were on Shoreline right above gas. Like we were just going around doing like some of the low stuff, just like mark things. And we're up on the
Yeah.
hill right behind gas, and one of our teammates died. So we're sitting there healing up, like stashing his stuff. And one of our guys goes, "Who's running?" And we're like, "Nobody. We're all just laying here." And he's like, "I hear one. I hear two, three, four." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Down on the road." So we all like just move right down the rock and like look on the road. We're all like leaning out of the trees, and there's four guys just running in a straight line. And we're like, "Pop, pop, pop, pop. Okay, go get gear."
Yeah. Okay, so with this wipe, they added the new shoreline map or the new part
See,
of Lighthouse. Yeah, Lighthouse,
yep,
which you still can't go in the lighthouse. You need like a
not yet.
key card or there's like mines and shit.
Yes,
Um there's also the add-on to what? Scav Karma where you have the scav missions. Have you
yes.
gotten any of those like really just absurd uh tasks for scavs? I had one the other day. It was Get 8 injectors in one raid.
What?
Yeah. Then
What?
the one that I currently have is as a scav, use the Ruaf uh exit on customs.
That's
That's
impossible.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. These are absurd. We're my friend has one is like get out on crossroads on as a scav.
That
You
one
can't
I
do that
think
either.
is doable. That one
But only
might be.
only if only if it no, I think it's only a
Let's see.
um but
Hide
yeah.
all. Crossroads is a shared.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I had one as Ruaf, and then I had the
Wait,
one right.
apparently Ruaf is also a shared, but you have to have it as a scav. I've never had that extract as
I've
a scav.
never either.
Yeah,
I've
apparently it is. It's a shared. Crossroads and Ruaf are shared extracts. Maybe that's why they give you
bullshit.
that, because it's shared. So it's going to be harder to go there because there could be a PMC.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, like 8 injectors in one raid?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Where the fuck are you getting 8 injectors if not crack house? But like by the time you get in, there's no injectors left.
There. Okay, so
You know what I'm
part of
saying?
the expanded areas on Lighthouse, they added a grow room
Heard about
in
that. I heard
like the
about that.
train yard area back beyond Water Tree.
Yeah.
And Jamie went in there yesterday and she's like, "Ooh, what is this? There's pretty lights." And was walking around and she's like, melatonin, mule, SJ6. I'm like, "Where are you finding these?" And she's like, "They're just all over the floor." So I mean, if you get that again, go there.
Okay.
But
Okay. I just
yeah,
can't stand Lighthouse. Lighthouse, I don't know what it is. Anytime I play Lighthouse, I just get some cheater, some type of like just bullshit.
it was
I went
raining yesterday when we did it, and it like tanked my computer. Like they did something, and it was I was getting inconsistent frame rates. It was so bad.
have you been experiencing more cheaters this wipe? Because I
No,
the past couple of wipes, I haven't really I've maybe gotten like one, two cheaters. This one, I feel like I've been cheated on a lot more. And
I
it's kind of pissing me off.
there was one very definitive time that we had a cheater. He even straight up, we asked him, we're like, "What's our names, bro?" And he like named off each one of our characters, and we're like, "Uh-huh." And but that was last wipe. This wipe we had like two sus fights, but the rest of them I haven't ran into anything that I'm like, "Oh, that guy's hacking."
I've been getting people hacking on scabs.
That's nuts.
Yeah, because I was playing Interchange, and I don't remember if it was you or if my other group, and I walked. I was one of my friends or one of the people in my group was like in a bathroom, and I was not even in that bathroom. I got shot through the wall and got headshotted by a scav, and I
Wait,
wasn't even
yeah,
in
that
that
was
bathroom.
with us. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was
with
with you
us
guys.
on interchange. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the other day. That was kind of funny. Like you just saw the bullet hole like in the wall, and it's
yeah.
like, okay.
Because we were trying to third party a like a battle over the food over in Goshen.
I mean, maybe you could chalk that up to a lucky stray bullet, but that's
A
like the
stray
luckiest stray bullet ever.
Right, that guy, I'm in that guy's montage. I'm probably gonna be in a TikTok video, something
Yeah.
like that, you
I
know?
wish that after the fact, like when you look at your kill screen, you can see like the replay of the deaths. Like so you could make like just quick montages.
Yeah. But I mean,
That would be cool.
that's what I'm saying. Is I feel like if you have any type of first person shooter, right? It doesn't even have to be first person. It can be like third person. If it's a shooter, the likelihood of that game getting hackers is probably
Mhm.
a lot higher than any other platform or any other like style of game, right? You're not getting hackers really for puzzle games,
Well, the
multiplayer
big
puzzle
one
games
for
for
this, the big reason for this too is it's a looter shooter, so people want the loot. So they'll pay a hacker to carry them through, kill everyone, and then they get to loot everything.
Pay to win?
No.
Oh.
That's
No,
outside of the terms of service. That is not paid.
I know,
No.
I know. But you're still paying someone to win.
We're not starting that one again.
I know, fuck with you.
Uh,
But
no,
no,
one of the most interesting changes though, or the additions this patch, this wipe, were the 3 new bosses.
right.
Did you read the notes on this?
No, I just know I just know their names: Big Pipe,
Yeah.
Knight, and Hawkeye or whatever.
Okay, so here, let me just
Off of
summarize this real
Marvel.
quick. So bosses maintain contact with each other and with other rogues on the map. However, they do not stick together and instead keep their positioning distances. When an enemy is detected by any of the bosses, they will spread that information amongst each other and then like engage accordingly. So they'll actually like flank you. These 3 bosses will work together to flank you. And then they don't I was worried because Big Pipe spawns with a 6-round like semi-auto grenade launcher. I'm like, people are going to
Right.
be farming the hell out of that. The way that they fix
M32.
that is they spawn on Lighthouse, Shoreline, Woods, and Customs, and there's no way to tell what map they're going to be on. They just
Right.
randomly spawn and roam. So
Well,
you
I've
can't
never.
farm them.
I play Woods like almost exclusively. It's my favorite map, and I always go loot running on that. I have yet to see any of those bosses. I don't even see Sturman on that map. So
Did Woods 3 times today, back to back. Had Sherman spawn every single one.
Sherman is what you just
Yes,
called him.
Sherman.
Got it.
Sherman.
Does he still have that quest where you get his where you get like a what is it, the M18? If you kill him 25 times or something like that.
Oh yeah. 25 times you unlock the Mark 18.
They need to just get rid of that as like the reward. Give me his jacket.
Yeah.
I'll do it for the jacket. It's just kind of like the killer thing where you
Yeah.
go and you kill Killa 25 times. Wait, it's 100 times, right?
100 times for Killa.
100 times for Killa, and you get his tracksuit. They need one for like all the bosses. I think that'd be
That would be
cool.
cool. So Sherman is one of those bosses that is like
Sure.
he's so the distance, like engagement distance is so far. So you never really see him close up unless you're looking at him through a scope. And Jamie had never seen him before, and they did the boss event at the end of the wipe. So
Yeah.
we're running around, and she turns a corner, and she's like, "Who's this guy with a hoodie?" And he just like mows her down, and like
Yeah,
didn't
dude.
even realize it was a boss.
His SVD is ridiculous. I remember they had to tone his targeting down because he would track you through walls and then just wall bang you.
Yeah,
That was a while back, but
they had
yeah,
to do that with the rogues too.
it was so dumb. Like his SVD, and that was when he just had an SVD. He never had the AK. But then they gave him an AK because he was pretty much useless up close, which actually makes sense though, right? Because he has his guards, right? That
Yeah,
are
yeah.
his close range. So why not just let him keep the SVD and that's it? Not have like a close range.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense for him lore too. Like he's a
Right.
marksman. Like he's not gonna get up close.
Right. And
But then you go and do factory, and Tagilla's over there just sprinting at you from across the map with a sledgehammer, and you're like, oh god, get away.
okay, so there's that quest that you have to go in. I think it's what? Is it farming part 1 where you have to go and you have to use your tool sets?
Yeah, yeah, you gotta
Okay.
fix the thing.
Yes. So we spawn in me and my friend, we spawn in on the forklift room, right? So
Yeah.
we're like already like scared because there's people that spawn in that hallway all the time,
Mhm.
unless they fix that spawn, but I
Oh
don't think
yeah,
so.
no, they'll spawn if they're not in the hallway. There's gonna be a team probably rushing you from the left.
Right. So we spawn in Forks and we're just like we're here running. So we're like, all right, we call it out. We're like, hey, there's running. What comes running up the stairs to Gilla. We just spawned in and he's running at us.
Yeah.
So we not only had to deal with him, but we also had that team that spawned on the other
Huh.
end of the like to the
Yep.
left down that
Yep.
hallway. Yeah, so we had to we were in a battle and we won, but we had no ammo left
Those
and
are
no
some of the
meds.
scariest times when he's running at you, or like yesterday, we were in interchange, and I went in with just a little VPO leveling up sniper. I'm like, we're gonna kill a couple scavs, no big deal. And what do I see in the middle of idea? But freaking Killa, and I'm like, this EKO ammo is not doing anything to you, bud. And
Yeah,
he just like
gotta hit him.
sprints at you, does his little slide tackle thing, and just mows you down. And it's like, great,
They
awesome,
need
cool.
to they okay. They need to add different mechanics for the bosses, right? Because yeah, you have Killa who just has absurd aim, a ton like a drum mag, and the best armor in the game, right? But he's still killable, right? They need to have it where you have to enter like a store or something like that to get him to kind of spawn, or you have to kill his goons before he comes out. Because it would make those missions where you have to kill him 100 times even more of a challenge. Because if you have to kill his goons before he comes out, that's going to keep a lot more people from going in there just to farm him, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
if they added like some guards or some like security patrols and had like had it to where like if you kill both of them, then whoever killed them, Killa will now hunt you down for the rest of
right,
the map.
right, right.
That would be
Or
cool.
like they need or what's the other guy's name on reserve?
Oh, Gluhar?
Glue
Glukhar?
Glukhar. Glukhar. I think it would be cool if like you had
Glucose?
to you had to go and do something up in the tower and kind of radio him in, you know?
Like, what
Uh,
would you do? Just walk up there and be like, hey, glucose. We want some diabetes over here. Like, would you just like piss him
well,
off or something? Like,
I'm just trying to think of like do something to get them to spawn, right? Not just like go in, okay, well he's not here. You
well,
gotta go
the
next back
bad
and
thing
try
about
again.
that though would be like it. You could then like farm them if you had like a specific spawning scenario. Then it would
Right.
make it to where you could farm them, and that
Well,
like because of the fact that they have such better drops, that would not be good for the economy.
right, but also the thing is it creates a rush to spawn him, right? Which then creates more of a chance of battling other players. And that's what a lot of people want is they want to have these things where you're creating
Well, that's what arena's going to be.
right, but
I mean,
don't even get
EFT's
me started on arena. I
supposed
already
to
figured
be
that out.
it's supposed to be like slow, methodical. Like it I don't know if being able to spawn them would be a good idea just because of the ability to abuse that. And I mean, if you think that there's a problem with cheaters now, like you give them the ability to spawn bosses on demand, that's just game over.
Well, I mean, when arena comes out, you think cheaters aren't going to play it? It's just going to ruin arena.
Well, but to what end though?
I mean,
Like they said that you can bring your gear from EFT into Arena, but they haven't said anything about taking it back. And they said that there's going to be like unlockables in Escape from Tarkov for Arena, but they're not connected. They're two separate games.
but
So
but at the same time they're not two separate games because
there's some cross. I mean, that's
it's
like saying like you get some unlockables in like a Pokemon game if you play like Pokemon Go. Like they're two separate games, but they're connected in a way. But
Well, it would
I
just be
don't
like
know.
multiplayer versus campaign,
Yeah, but I mean,
So,
people when it comes to like Call of Duty, like people cheat to like just get the highest on the kill score, stuff like that. Yeah, there may be cheaters, but it's not gonna be the issue of like of what Tarkov has right now. I don't. It's gonna be a different problem, but I think it you're right. It's probably gonna exist in some fashion.
well, because the first map is Terminal, right? We've already kind of established that the
Mm-hmm.
first map is Terminal. I'm guessing because of the size of Terminal, Suburb, and Town, that those are going to be the other two maps. Yes, they will be. They will be probably normal, um, like Tarkov maps, but I have a feeling that those are going to be the maps for Arena because they're the same size, they have the same time limit, right? Like if you go to like I believe Tarkov, like Streets of Tarkov, that's a different it has different players and a different time frame on how
Yeah.
long you can be on there. But it just makes sense to have to release those other two maps as arena maps, and then just have parts of the other maps. Obviously, Factory is probably going to be an arena map, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
possibly.
kind of what I figured out because it would make sense to have town and suburb be an arena map. I mean,
Well, they also said that they're gonna do like subsets of other maps. Like there's probably gonna be a completely like wooded arena map that's just like trees and shit.
I hope they don't ruin my map with arena, please.
But yeah, he did say that Nikita did say that they do want to make a lot of arena maps, and they're gonna probably do subsets of other maps as well.
Yeah, but just like
So like
if
dorms on customs or like health resort.
right, but I that just adds to the pandemic of cheating in shooters.
How so? Like you're not gonna
Because
be doing it. It's not gonna be like arena in Shoreline.
right, but it's still if you can get unlockables and stuff. Like are we losing gear in arena? Has anything been said about
It
that?
said that if
Because
you take your gear from EFT into arena, yes, you can lose it.
so you know what would be good is if you get more like you can wager your gear
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
there.
the what's the word I'm looking for? The details are so sparse. I mean everything's up for speculation, but
But I mean, that would kind of that would create some type of competitive with it. Is if you're able to wager your gear,
from
or
what it
put
sounds
or
like,
wager rubles or something like that.
yeah.
Because if you create like a arena game like that where you can bring in all your shit, guaranteed 100%, the cheaters are gonna gravitate to it, get all your shit, all the best gear, because everyone's gonna be bringing their best
But
gear
that's
in
if you
there.
can, that's assuming that you can also take that back the other direction, which they haven't mentioned anything about.
What do you mean take it back the other direction?
Like take it out of arena into regular Tarkov.
Well, I mean, at the same time, it doesn't matter because I mean, if you're going in with like your best gear, all you'd have to do is just because I mean, it's gonna be the same stash.
No, it's a
What?
completely different game. Like it is a separate client. You don't need to own Tarkov to play arena.
Oh,
You
okay.
you just buy arena for like he said it's going to be not quote unquote not a lot of money. So it's probably going to be between 14.99 and 39.99 because I
Let's
don't
be
see
real.
them charging more than the base game.
It's gonna be free to play with a loot store.
No, no. Nikita did say microtransactions are never going to be a thing. So I would assume it's going to probably be like 24.99 or 19.99, something around there.
But
But
But to kind of segue off of that to like subscription services and anything, do you hear what Nintendo kind of is talking about?
No.
They're gonna do a subscription service, right? But not for
Okay.
games. It's a subscription service where you pay $1 a month or something like that, or $15 a year, or something like that. I think it's $15 a year, and it's a warranty subscription service, so that if anything goes to happen to your Nintendo Switch or Game Boy or whatever it is, you can send it in and have it repaired for part of that subscription service.
Interesting. I mean,
So
I'd pay that.
it's not like your typical like subscription service. It's like a warranty subscription service. That was part of
Yeah.
their what they announced during their Nintendo Direct conference.
Interesting.
Do we have any more
Yeah.
conferences coming up?
Um, Tokyo Game Show, TGS should be sometime.
TGS. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, the Tokyo Game
Tokyo
Show.
Game Show. Oh my gosh.
Tokyo Game Show. Nope, that
What's
is
the one that's in
not what I'm
August?
looking for.
There's one in August. Which one is that? Is that the Games Expo? Or did we already
Uh,
have Game Expo?
I don't know.
Are we
Uh,
having E3 this year?
no, E3 would have happened last month.
Oh, okay.
They completely canceled it.
Man, are we still out here afraid of COVID
I
with
mean,
all these conferences?
I don't. I mean, they. What was it? Not. There was just a conference. I think it was the GDC Game Developer Conference. They had a whole bunch of COVID cases. So yeah, I mean, people are definitely not being safe about it. That's for sure.
We just
Um,
had
Tokyo Game
summer.
Show is September 15th through the 18th.
Okay. Well, because we just had summer games done quick, and they that's a huge thing, and they actually had managed to have that all in person. I would have thought that that would have been digital, but no, they actually made it where you can gather, and the couches are
Yeah.
6 feet apart, and
Well, I mean, Summer Games Done Quick says right here that they're capped at 1,500 people, which is small for in-person
but that
event.
but I feel like 1,500 people, is that just the runners? Because there's a lot of runners.
No, that was attendance policy was capped at 1,500, which was reduced from their originally planned of 3,500 plus. So they more than cut it in half.
Which is
And
crazy, because didn't they just set a record for the most amount of money raised? By the way, congratulations to them for raising $3 million. I think that's
yes,
the most they've raised.
congratulations.
I think that's the most they've ever raised, for most raised in games.
So the Summer Games Done Quick had a 1,500 person attendance cap, where
Right.
2022 GDC had 17,000 people.
Mm.
So yeah, that's over 10 times the amount of people.
Okay.
I mean, these big game conferences have so many. I think when we were going to E3, there were like 30 plus K people there. Like it literally, you cannot move without touching somebody.
Yeah. So, by the way, Games Done Quick raised $3.4 million to prevent cancer Foundation.
That's a lot. Good
That is
job.
ridiculous. That is
Good
ridiculous.
job. I wish I could raise that much.
In a week. In a week. In a week.
I'm lucky if I could raise like $3.5.
So when you watch Games Done Quick, whether it be summer or winter Games Done Quick, what is it? Winter games, or is it just
Awesome
Games Done Quick?
games.
Awesome games. Yeah, winter. Um, what is your games that you want to watch?
Um, Sorry, I'm having feline problems.
Okay. Feline. Okay.
This cat just jumped up in my lap and decided to just rub all up on my mic, and
Right. I have a
um,
dog that's just staring at me right now.
I like watching any of the Zeldas. The FromSoft games are fun to watch. I really like N64 stuff, like things that have been out for a while that people are still finding bugs and still finding ways to like cheese the coding.
Speaking speaking of N64, to cut
uh,
you off, are they making a remake of GoldenEye?
I th- it's been talked about for years. There was a leak. I think it was last year. There was a leaked build of the remake for Xbox Live Arcade, on the
Right.
360. That you could download it. You could, if you have a modded Xbox or on an emulator, you could play it. It's fully done. There's just some UI elements that were like placeholders. But apparently a lot of it was due to licensing. So as soon as they can figure out the licensing issue, I can all but guarantee there will be another GoldenEye remake out somewhere.
All they have to do is just are you able to kickstart stuff like that? Be like, "Hey, help us, help us raise the money so
Uh,
that we can pay for the licensing for this game that you all want."
I don't think it's that easy. I think it's because MGM owned the rights to GoldenEye as a movie and like
Ah.
that like story. But like I forget who, Barbara Bercoli or something. I forget the actual name of the person who owns like Bond as a character. Like it was going through a whole bunch of legal channels and everything to figure out exactly who Nintendo or who, think Rare actually. So Microsoft currently owns that, but who they need to talk to procure the rights to GoldenEye. I
Yeah,
don't think that is documented anywhere. Actually,
the
it might be.
Wilson broccoli family.
Yes. So
Okay.
they if
Broccoli.
you Google GoldenEye like development book or something, there's a Kickstarter right now. I think it ends on Thursday. It's like the entire like developmental diary of GoldenEye 64 007. I want to get that. I think I'm gonna back it like on Thursday, but
A new
it
so
should
Boss
probably
Fight
be in there.
announces new documentary book focused on GoldenEye 007.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. That's gonna be a cool read.
Okay.
But I'm
This will
sure
be in the
some of this will be covered in there.
yeah, hold on. I'm sending it to for the link dump.
Link dump.
Yeah.
Dump all
There's
the
the link.
links.
Yeah. Those will be in the description.
But
The
yeah, I can all but guarantee that they will do that just because it is so, everybody wants it.
right.
Like everybody wants to play that game again. So we'll see.
Do you think it's gonna have a competitive aspect to it?
Um, it depends on how they do it. It might. If it's a remake or a remaster, if they're just going about it like we're gonna take what's already there, spruce it up a little bit, better graphics, maybe something like that, then probably not. But if they,
Cheaters are only gonna be choosing odd job.
well, I mean, when they released the remake of Perfect Dark for Xbox Live Arcade,
Right.
they had the multiplayer completely working. Like you could get onto XBL and join a lobby and play competitive Perfect Dark online. But the issue was that there wasn't a lot of people playing it. So you would sit there for 45 minutes, find a lobby with two other people, and then it was just boring. So I mean, it I feel like the people who want to replay it are the people who are going to sit down with a group of their buddies, like, and just couch co-op multiplayer or people that want to play the campaign again. Like, I don't know if the multiplayer as it stands is gonna be enough to do like bring in like a competitive audience.
Here's a question. What was the first console to have online play?
It was the Super Nintendo, or actually it might have been Famicom.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Famicom had
I
online
believe
play?
I believe it did. I believe there was a modem cartridge kind of similar to the to like Sonic and Knuckles, like where you flip open the top, plug in your Sonic 1.
Yeah, it
That
was the
you yeah,
Famicom
yeah, so
in
you could do like
1988.
yeah, you could plug in your phone line and you could play like Bomberman and shit over like a internet
Bomberman.
connection. It was a cool little thing.
Bomberman was a game for the N64 that I loved the online, like the multiplayer aspect to it. But then I started seeing like the original like Bomberman. I was like, this ain't Bomberman.
I
Because
played a lot of Bomberman on NES. A lot.
on NES, I'm talking
Yeah,
about
like
64.
no, that like Famicom, like NES, like Bomberman 2.
Bomberman 2.
Yeah,
God.
that stuff was good. There
Do
were a
they even
lot of
can you even speed run Bomberman? I know you can do it for the 64 version. I've seen it on Games Done Quick. Um,
I believe you can. If I remember, it's been a long time since I played this.
didn't they
But
release a Bomberman maybe not recently, but like in the last 10 years or so, they released another Bomberman and it was just it's supposed to it like took like a dark direction with it and it just flopped.
um
Bomberman. Wait, newest Bomberman. Newest Bomberman.
yeah, I believe you could um play Bomberman and speedrun it because it looks like the no, that's
Yeah, it was
time
for
and
the three.
lives.
There was a Bomberman Act Zero for the Xbox 360.
What?
Yes, Bomberman Act Zero for the Xbox 360. It was made by Hudson Gaming Universe,
Okay, yeah, same original, same developer. Um
but it wasn't like the cutesy, little anime character. No, it was like robots dressed like just giant metal robots with giant hands that planted bombs.
um there probably is someone out there who is able to speedrun the original Bomberman, but here's a random tidbit. The NES slash Famicom did not have a procedural number generator. Like it was incapable of generating random numbers like that. So what they did to account for random numbers and doing like pseudo randomness was made a function that would find the time that the game state loaded to the
Uh-huh.
time that you hit the start button. So you remember all those games that would be like a black screen and it would be like press start and then you would start playing. That
Sure.
screen would keep track of how long it took you to hit the start button. Use that amount of time as a random seed to generate levels. So technically, if you pressed start at the same exact second or same exact cycle multiple times in a row, you would get the same exact Bomberman level. So I'm sure there's someone out there who has like frame perfect response to where they could practice a specific Bomberman level enough to know how to do it the fastest. I'm sure
I'm
someone has done it.
sure. But I mean, the games I like watching are, Usually, and Super NES games. I like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong has some interesting like glitches and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I don't know what it is, but Donkey Kong Country 2, um, Diddy's Revenge or something like that. I forgot what it's called. But that one is my favorite Donkey Kong game of all time. Every time I watch the games done quick, speed run it,
Okay.
I die a little bit inside because I struggled so much through this game, like growing up, that I can kind of say like it's beating it was an accomplishment for me as like a you know
Yeah.
small gaming
Yeah.
moment. But which today in today's standards it would be like this game is no problem compared to some of the other games I beat. Ninja Gaiden, I'm looking at you. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Sigma, fuck you. Um but yeah, back then that game was so difficult for me that beating it I was, you know, great accomplishment. But watching them beat it in like 10 minutes, and I'm just like, okay, you guys
You're like,
don't need to ruin my
"Eesh."
childhood. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
There's
like
some
that's
times
that's
that
the
that's happened.
problem. That's the problem with that is like you watch them beat your favorite video games so fast that your childhood is just like, okay, well, I I was stuck on that part for maybe 2 days and
Uh-huh.
they skipped it entirely. All right. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic.
You're like, wait, what? I could squeeze
Oh, I didn't
my butt through the hole in the
yeah.
wall over there.
Oh, I didn't have to fight that boss. I could have just skipped him by, not even doing the level. Fuck
Yep.
you.
Yep.
But
No,
yeah,
yeah,
but
that stuff, like, it's nuts. Like
I've
the
been
what people.
watching I've been watching with not just games on quick, but you ever see those videos where they do speed running, but the developers watch it?
Yeah.
Those are so interesting to me because like hearing them react, they're just like, "Oh yeah, when we were designing this level, we were intending it that the players had to do." Oh, he just skipped that part. Oh, oh, okay. Well, maybe
Yeah.
should we go back and let them know that they don't even have to fight the end boss anymore? Like,
You see part of them just like die
I
inside.
know
You're like,
it's
oh.
it's like the Halo ones, the for like Halo CE. They also did one for
Did you see the
Halo
one for
Infinite.
Infinite? Yeah, the
Yeah,
one.
where they were actually like enjoying it. They were enjoying watching all
Oh yeah,
these things, and there's like, man, we're gonna have to. We don't even know if we should go back and patch all this.
yeah.
Which
The specifically was where the players found out that you could loot like a mobile like tank, like the tank rifle or whatever, and
well,
then
that was
they.
before the speed run.
Yeah, but it's used heavily in the speed run,
Right.
and then they patched it out. They removed that, and the speedrunning community went nuts. And they're like, "Fine, you can have it back." So they put it back in the game, and
Right.
they're like, "Have fun."
Yeah, but the other part about that is they the big trick in that game is the barrel jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
using barrels to like grapple and then
Yeah.
it throws you up. They patched that out completely.
Really.
And that upset the speedrunning community also, not just it wasn't just
The
um
tank gun
the
removal.
tank gun. They did it because it had significant problems with they didn't mean to like phase it out for speedrunners, right? It was meant to for multiplayer. But
Mm-hmm.
because they added it to the multiplayer where if you were to
Yeah.
grapple a thing, it makes it explode and not bring it to you. Because a lot of times people were just grappling fusion coils in multiplayer, and
Which that was amazing. That's like some of the best stuff.
I know, but it led to some problems apparently, and so they patched that out for the multiplayer, but it affected the campaign. So the speedrunning community got fucking pissed because they phased out like their whole speedrunning thing. So they tried to add it back to campaign. They managed to get it back for campaign, but it also some of the elements added back to multiplayer because you can't phase both of them out. You can't
Yeah.
separate it completely. So yeah, it just now they just forever have like this loop of okay, well if we want to have one community of speedrunners, we also have to have it for multiplayer, but it ruins the multiplayer. So what side do we take? Do we take the multiplayer side and phase it out, or do we have the speedrunning side and make the multiplayer, happy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a delicate balance for sure.
Right. I feel like any game that tailors some type of gameplay to speedrunning, that game's gonna do have huge success.
Oh yeah, yeah, because I mean that's just a huge replayable market. And
Right.
yeah.
Like for example, Shovel Knight, one of
Mhm.
the biggest speedrunning games of all time. And they the developers make that game around the speedrunning community. It's not
Yep.
they don't make it for the casual play. It's specifically for the speedrunning community. So they add challenges and little things for the speedrunning community. That game is I bet you if the speedrunning community wasn't like on top of that game would be dead and they probably would have just made a little bit of money. They probably just would have moved on to their next project.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's that's the games that especially like Shovel Knight that is like platformers thing, side
mhm.
scroller specifically, like any game that is like that. You look at like Dead Cells, you look at
Oh, I love Dead
like
Cells.
Sonic's, you anything like that that is very linear, like one side to another, or
Right.
that is just rife for speedrun. Super Meat Boy, Celeste, like all of those, like
I remember you had a thing for Celeste for a while there.
that game's amazing.
Yeah.
It is that is like a that is a masterpiece of a game for so many different reasons. Not
Yeah,
least of
you were
which its accessibility options. Like the story is the story deserves like a Pulitzer. Like it's so good and it tackles like mental health issues and all kinds of other shit. But
yeah.
they know that I'm getting on a tangent here, but
It's
the
alright.
developers knew that they had something special and they wanted to share it with people. So to a brutally difficult Twitch platformer, they added an easy mode to where you can continually just keep respawning and keep playing to experience the game. And it had like a double jump and like a flutter that you could use. Like it 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 is so cool to see developers do that, especially in like a single player. Like God, if you put like an easy mode in Tarkov, I'd like that would just destroy the game. But like Celeste was an amazing game
It's
and
coming.
it's so good. Like if you haven't played it, go play Celeste.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you telling me about it, and at the time, I think it was they were doing like what's it called? Like a deal or something like that. Maybe it was like a
Mm,
summer Steam sale kind of
yeah,
thing, and so I probably bought it. It's sitting in my library. I just haven't played it.
it is an
But
excellent.
you know what game that it's loved by a lot of people, but I don't understand it.
What?
Now I just lost it. I lost the fucking name of this game. It's the game where, you have like there's like a pacifist, run. There's you can choose to kill everyone, and depending on what route you go and who you kill, um
Hitman?
like no, 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 no.
What?
It's like an 8-bit style game. There's like a guy with like he's like a skeleton, there's like an evil flower that attacks you.
What?
Oh my god. What is this fucking game?
Ghosts and Goblins? No.
No.
I
What
have
is it?
no idea what you are talking about. An evil flower, huh?
Yes. What is this game? Undertale.
Oh, okay. Undertale.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's the game. I can't. I don't understand it. I don't. Every time I see it, I'm like, I don't see what everyone loves about this game. Like it. I guess it has a good story. I don't know. It
Yeah.
does not appeal to me to play it to the
No,
point to see
Undertale
where.
is one of those weird games that I have a lot of friends who are like, this game's phenomenal and have like thousands of hours in it, and I'm like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't see it. Like,
Yeah, and I understand, like, it has a cool concept where you don't have to battle, like, you use, like, your little heart to dodge things
yeah,
kinda thing. That's kinda cool, but, like, I don't know. There's a boss in there that he doesn't attack you kinda thing, but I I don't know. I don't know. That game speaking of games that, um, I don't understand, that's one of the main ones. I
yeah,
don't know what it is.
it's definitely an interesting game for sure.
But, speaking of killer flowers, because you made me think of this. When I think killer, wait, what? Um, Cuphead just got a DLC.
I did see that. Yes,
I'm I love Cuphead.
I
I'm
never
like
played it.
I'm gonna start. I'm go.
Never played Cuphead.
Boy, you're gonna have to play Cuphead. It is it. If I want to start collecting something, I'm pretty much Cuphead stuff is gonna be my next thing. I love Cuphead.
Okay, okay, I'll have to give it a shot.
It's good. It's hard, and I think
Yeah,
that's what
I hear
that's what
it's
I like about
brutal.
it. Yeah, think about 2D, like a 2D side scroller Tarkov in difficulty,
Okay. Oh,
because it's that hard. It is really hard.
2D side scroller Tarkov. I'll do you one better. So someone took Tarkov and made it into a text-based adventure game.
Oh
Like
no!
it's like straight up like text adventure. You type in your answers, but it's like, do you want
You
a
go into
PMC or do
settings.
you want a scav? And it's like
Yeah,
PMC, and it's like, what do you want to wear? And it's like, you type in like what's in my stash, and it tells you like what's in your stash, and then as
yeah.
you zone in, and it's like, where do you want to go? Towards objective, hunt for scavs, or loot? And you have to pick which one, and then it like generates random encounters. It's
You
so bad.
spawn. You spawned in Trailer Park. Do you want to head towards Big Red or towards Crossroads? Uh,
Yep.
Big Red. You spot a scav. Do you want to hide or take a shot? Take a shot. All
Yeah.
right, and then
No,
it
that's
just
exactly
then
what
it's
it
just like,
is.
yeah. Like how
It's
but
not.
how would you aim though? Like like do you want to aim for the head? Do you want to aim for the leg?
Nope.
You know?
Nope. It just does it. It's like, oh, that
Oh
sucked.
yeah, you miss. Fuck. Fire again. You want to spray?
Yeah.
That'd be
It.
cool actually. Not
Do you
That'd be
want to
cool.
spray or do you want to ADS?
Yeah.
No, I'll have to find the link and we can put it in the show notes. But one of the things that I did want to mention is talking about like game developer earlier in our conversation we were talking about like developers and stuff that might need a like reality check. Did you see what EA did?
No, what happened with you?
Okay. So you know the whole like trend like they're a 10 but they do whatever that's like going around.
Yes. Yes, I
Okay,
do
so
know this.
EA tweeted they're a 10, but they only like playing single player games. EA tweeted that.
O- Okay.
Uh,
So tell me about how they're being canceled.
oh man. So Vince Zampella, the CEO of Respawn Entertainment, Titanfall 2, Jedi Fallen
Good games.
Order, the new
Great
one.
games.
He tweets back. He responds to it with just the facepalm emoji. And then you got people like internal developers. This guy here. Oh shoot. Okay. So,
Talk about a fail.
oh yeah, this is bad.
But then again, EA is no, I think we've talked about it on one of our previous episodes, is known as one of the worst
Yep.
companies in America to work for. So it
Yeah.
makes sense.
So the Visceral Games, the
Hmm.
studio that did Dead Space, right?
Love Dead Space.
Which EA just announced that they're bringing Dead Space back from the dead.
Oh, I
One
hope so.
one of their former lead developers goes, "This is the company that shut down my studio and laid off 100 great developers because we were making single player games." And he goes, "Also, if you break game rating scores down to a 10-point scale, most EA games are a solid 6 or 7, not because the developers are bad, but because EA, the corporation, forces them to rush games out. EA corporate leadership wouldn't know what a 10 looked like if it hit them in the face."
Wow. I mean, accurate, accurate,
Oh,
first of
yeah.
all, but at the same time, bam,
Yeah.
brutal,
Yeah,
brutal.
people are really leaning into him on this, and they tried to course correct, and goes, "Roast, well deserved. We'll take the L because playing single player games actually make you an 11."
Okay. Way to backpedal there, you know? I think
Yeah,
the proper thing that they should have done instead of backpedaled, right? Double down. Double down.
down.
Double down. Right? You just be like, "Look, this is the reasons why we feel, first person games are not as popular right now." That way they can kind of give some feedback, right?
Single player, not first person, but yeah,
Well, you know what I'm saying, single
yeah,
player games, cuz it is single player games are kind of not going away. I'm not going to agree with them there, right? I love single player games. I
I
love
mean,
Dead Space,
Elden
most
Ring
of them.
just had like
But
100, like 90
right.
something score. Yeah,
But you can also argue that it was also multiplayer because a lot of the it's the PvP is huge in that game.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
It,
yeah, there are multiplayer elements to it.
yeah, but so to go back to my original thought here, that you just don't see a lot of single player games, right? Nowadays,
Yeah,
they all have like a multiplayer aspect to it,
which I mean makes sense. Like that
right?
from a business perspective, you want to add longevity to your game. You want to keep people playing it, and you want to be able to have further monetization ability to sequel, like things like that. And one
Right.
of the easiest ways to do that is to add a multiplayer element to keep people engaged and create their own content, if you will.
I think though, the reason I here's my reasoning, and could be a hot take, if you will. I feel like you're going to throw in multiplayer aspects to a game where the storyline cannot carry it enough, right? Elden Ring, it has its storyline, but you really have to pay attention for it to be able to follow it, right? Because a lot of people just, I mean, I didn't even know what the fuck was going on in Elden Ring. I had to go and look at a YouTube video and have my ending explained to me.
Yeah,
That's where
Elden Ring's
that's
story is like borderline non-existent.
but at the same time, it's the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
So, but games, for example, a good single player game where the storyline is so strong, it could easily carry it into a sequel and it doesn't need a multiplayer, right? Would be God of War. The new God of
okay.
War has such a strong, like, you feel connected with Kratos from, like, not just because of the past games, but in this one you really build another connection with him because the storyline of him and his son Atreus, you know,
Huh.
starting off as just calling him boy, and then you start calling him by his name, and it's a whole journey, you know, to start Ragnarok,
Yeah.
apparently. That is what I mean by a game where the storyline is so strong it can carry you into it. And then we don't have a lot of those style games. So I feel where a lot of story driven games, they have to have a multiplayer aspect because their storyline is not strong enough to carry them into,
Um,
like, to get enough people to play to carry them into another game.
their Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
was a game that I want to get into.
Well, there's like
It,
Last of Us also,
The Last of Us was phenomenal.
right? What is it? Uncharted. These
I
games, by
haven't
the way,
played
both Naughty
Uncharted.
Dog. Both Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is really good in their storyline games, and I feel like Santa Monica Studios is going to be another um one of those companies that's just they pump out not pump out. I shouldn't say that. That's a dirty word. Where they create storyline driven games and have really strong features like good voice acting, good storytelling. They don't need multiplayer aspects. They've tried adding it, right?
Hmm.
But that's no one really cares about it. They tried doing it for the Tomb Raider games
Yep.
and
Nobody played it.
yeah, no one played it. But that's just it. You don't need if your story if your storyline for your game makes it good, then how about instead of a multiplayer, right? Add what challenges,
Yeah.
like a challenge mode. Okay, be like, okay, this week we're gonna make this boss have double the amount of health, and he's gonna have this mechanic. Why can't we change? Why can't we add challenge modes and shit?
I'd be
Similar
down
to how
with
they
that.
do, like how how
But what
like
would
raids have mechanics? Why can't we just do that with like storyline driven games? Like, okay, this week this mission is gonna have this, and this,
would you
figure it out.
would you add like achievements for that, or would you add like unlockables? Like
I
what
mean,
would
you
you
could add
add to keep
unlockables.
someone to doing that? Because I
I
feel
think it
like
would be
that would
cool.
get I feel like that could get very boring, just like, oh, something new came out. Like unless you really enjoy the game,
Well, right.
that's gonna get old. Whereas like
Well, I mean,
Tarkov, they kind of do exactly that, but I absolutely love this game, so that's why I
I
keep
wouldn't
doing it.
I wouldn't say achievements because achievements are kind of going away. Um,
Yeah.
but maybe unlockables, right? Like,
Hmm.
say if they're I'm gonna go back to God of War, right? You're gonna beat fuck. What's a boss in God of War? The troll. Like the
Okay.
first boss you fight, maybe now you fight 3 trolls, not 1,
Okay.
right? Um, but now you get like some type of piece of armor like skin that Kratos can wear that shows like, "Hey, I did this achievement," right? Or
Okay.
this thing. I'm trying to think like you create something that's replayability to single player games where you don't need a multiplayer aspect to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying, and I agree with it. I just don't know how to. Like, you need to have something else there. You need to have some
Right.
meat to go with the potatoes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
yeah, I,
mean,
I think I think I think we got the meat. We just need some potatoes to go with it.
yeah, yeah. You got the gameplay. You gotta have a side. Gotta have something that
Right.
people want to
I
slap
mean,
on their plate.
you already have the speedrunning community, right?
Yep.
For a lot of these games. So tailor if it's a story driven game, tailor it for those kind of people. But then add, you know, maybe that's the direction you go. Is it's for the speedrunning community, but you add challenges
Hmm.
to it. Where now they're not just speedrunning it. Now they have to speedrun it, but also do it with this challenge.
Yeah, yeah. So then you kind of work with the speedrun community to make like
Right.
I guess like a specific um what are those called? The like
Like a
speedrun category.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it would probably have to be on rotation because you can't have it be like, "Oh, all right, these 3 bosses are this week." Well, what happens if someone wants to practice that
Hmm.
or wants to do that or because you can't create a category for speedrunning and then just completely take it away because
I mean,
then it locks everyone like whoever's in first is going to be in first place forever,
yeah. I feel like a
you know?
really good really good like research project to look at for this would be the new Hitman. To where
The
like
new
every
Hitman.
week, every week they have like rotating challenges for the
Yeah.
levels. So like they'll lock some of the doors, or they'll add like another NPC or a couple different guards, or like change up the pathing of the target to make it more difficult and different than what it normally is, or add like themed events and stuff like that.
Right.
Um
How come games we touched about this a little bit last week with Moist Critical doing the lasso challenge, and then there was the one that I kind of issued with Valheim. How come developers don't really come out and create hardcore modes for games? Like, I feel like it's usually the community that creates the hardcore, and then whoever wants to try it. For example, Tarkov has its hardcore mode,
Mhm.
but it's not a category, right? It's just like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna create a new account and go hardcore for this
Yeah, I
one.
think there's like only one game that I can think of that does that, and that's Diablo.
Well, Diablo has hardcore. I mean, there's other hardcore games, right?
I'm
That
not
where
well,
you
I mean,
create.
I'm not familiar. I don't know if one way or the other, to be honest.
I mean, I think that's a fun thing. I think more games need a hardcore mode.
I think that would be fun. It would like add like the lasso thing. Like that's not until recently is it like something that you can just queue up and pick. Um
Right.
it was something that was community driven, and then they adopted that into the Master Chief Collection. But like that would be cool to see more developers start doing. Like, okay, you played the game, you really enjoyed the game, you've done everything we have to offer, here's something really nuts.
Right. But here's the thing. Now you have your base storyline with your different levels of difficulty, right? Then you have your speed run, right? Where you also can do your different varies of like it'll be like a time attack, but your different varies of difficulty. Then you have your hardcore, which is just set to one like hard difficulty, but it also has all its challenges. Then if you want another layer, hardcore time attack.
Yeah, there was a game recently. By recently, I mean within the past couple of years. I can't remember what it was. Where they did release like a crazy difficult hardcore mode. Um, oh,
You could,
it was Kingdom Hearts 3.
yeah,
There was
they added one level one playthrough or whatever.
they added it was like easy, medium, hard, and then they added like a challenge mode or something as kind of
Yeah,
like
where
a
you have
pseudo DLC.
where you're at level 1, you can't level up. But you
Really?
have all of you have all of, like, your skills and stuff like that, so you can
Yeah,
set up, like, your block and whatnot, but you're level 1.
interesting.
So, you still have, like, the same amount of health as level 1, all that stuff.
Because
But yeah.
I really, when in preparation for Kingdom Hearts 3, I played through 1 and 2. And 1 was incredibly difficult. Like some of the boss fights were so
Yeah.
hard. And like I was on the Riku fight for like 3 or 4 days.
The
Like
one in
playing,
Bastion,
yes, playing like
that
a
one's
couple
ridiculous.
hours at a time trying to beat him. Like it took me forever to
Yeah.
beat him.
It's
And
ridiculous.
then I went and just like I like casually played through Kingdom Hearts 2. Like I felt like they added more more mobility mechanics, and the game was more accessible from like a control aspect and like being able to play, and it was a little they had more it was more fleshed out idea wise, but I feel like they dumbed down the difficulty, and I wanted more of that brutal challenge. I wanted more of the let's get in, let's grind this out, let's learn this fight, let's get good at it.
Do you feel like modern gaming has kind of dumbed down difficulty in a lot of video games because they're trying to appeal to a specific audience. For example,
Yeah.
a lot of the games that I remember being super difficult, right? I you won't find today in modern gaming because I feel they if a game is too difficult, it's not going to hold the same audience. But then again, a lot of people do like the challenge. Like for example, Elden
Hmm.
Ring and FromSoft games, where those games are difficult, but they have a huge audience, right?
Yep.
But a lot of games, like you said, Kingdom Hearts. I remember Kingdom Hearts being ridiculously hard.
Yeah. Very hard.
One was stupid, right? And granted, it could just be us, as gamers. There's probably someone that's be in the comments gonna be like, yeah, I beat Kingdom Hearts one blindfolded with my right arm behind my back, and that
Congrats.
Riku fight, not even a challenge. Nope,
Yeah, I'm
no.
glad. I'm glad you did that, but some of
Yeah,
us can't.
but then moving into 2 and 3, I was like, where's the challenge?
Hmm.
Like even the Sephiroth fight, right? The Sephiroth fight in 1 was significantly harder than 2.
I honestly did it. I was like, nope. Mm-mm. Got
And
my ass
3
handed to
and
me.
3 3 didn't even have Sephiroth. It had like this demon, right? The
Okay.
demon took me 5 tries. It was
Really?
supposed to be hard. Yeah, he was supposed to be harder than Sephiroth, and it took me 5 tries and I beat him. And
Wow.
I didn't even have the ultimate weapon or anything. So, I feel like games are just being dumbed down.
Yeah, I think it has to do with like accessibility, and they want to reach as broad of an audience as possible. But at the same time, like what you were saying, they should add like an option for someone who wants that increased difficulty and that extra challenge.
Right.
That
So
that would that would be fun.
if you were to create a challenge for a video game, what challenge would you create for like a hardcore mode? Like what would you create?
I have
Because I
no
like
idea.
last episode we
Mhm.
did I did my Valheim one where you have
Mhm.
to beat it without dying and all that stuff.
Mhm.
You don't have a video game where you could where you saw like a specific challenge that you've always wanted to do
No,
or
not
equally great
really.
in a
I
hardcore
mean,
mode?
if I was to do something like that, it would mostly be like speed running. Like when I was younger, I would try to beat GoldenEye or like Perfect Dark as quickly as I could. I was really proud of my 3 hour and 7 minute Perfect Dark run.
Pretty
And
good.
yeah, pretty good for when I was like 14 and
Yeah, I mean, still,
like
yeah.
didn't realize that there was a thing called speed running. But yeah,
I
like
feel like we all went through that where like there was the time before we realized that we are like doing speed running was a thing, but we're all like, man, I beat this game in 24 hours. And you're like,
mhm.
now you realize that the game is being beaten now in like 2 minutes. You're
Yeah,
just like,
very yeah, it's talk about demoralizing.
you're just sitting there, just like, listen, man, my 24 hours is a lot more impressive than that 2 minutes. Okay,
So we used to go on family vacations like every summer. And our my parents had a
we still do.
timeshare in Myrtle Beach, South
Okay,
Carolina, which
flexing,
is
flexing.
from Cleveland to Myrtle Beach. It's about an 11-hour drive, give or take. Maybe a little bit longer. But I decided on this one summer trip that it would be a good idea to get a power inverter, a 13-inch TV, and a N64. And I just plugged it in, set the thing in my lap, and I started Ocarina of Time when we left the house, and I beat it as we were getting to the condo. And I was happy
First,
about that.
first of all, flex. But I had something similar where I started. We went on. So growing up, we always went camping like all the time
Okay.
because my mom was huge into camping. We would go camping like over in Nia Bay, over in like more Western Washington and
Okay.
stuff like that. I remember my goal was to beat um, Pokemon Blue version. It was either blue or yellow before we got to the campground. So
Yep.
I would start as soon as like my mom like backed the car out of the driveway. I would start the game and then I would go like on the way there. I would try to beat Pokemon. That was my
Yep.
own little personal speed run.
Did yeah, it's stuff like that. Like that to answer the question. Like it would be like challenges like that. Like set a time, set a range or set a goal and see if you're gonna hit that goal. Which literally is the question you asked me. What would be the goal? But
App
yeah,
ideas. App
I've done it
idea.
a couple different times. There's one other trip where this was a little bit later than N64. I had an Xbox at the time and I did it with Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
But yeah,
Here- I got an app idea or a website idea. You
okay.
pick, right? It's an app or a website where you could go and you could submit challenges and then people can go and do those challenges and then submit their video of them completing that challenge.
That'd be pretty cool. That
Is there
might
anything
actually
like that?
I mean, I would think that
I mean, obviously
speedrunning
speed
is
running,
the closest thing you got to it.
right? But like say for example, I mean, I guess YouTube would also be it too, but you can probably find any challenge, on
Yeah.
there. But for example, like you go up to like Halo
If
2 and you want
only
to go
there
and
was
you
this website that let you upload videos of you doing stuff.
no, can you imagine that as an app?
Yeah,
Um
that oh my god.
but no, for real though, like say for example, the Halo lasso one, right?
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
find people doing lasso,
yeah.
but you can maybe submit other challenges to it. Okay, now
Mhm.
you did it with lasso. Now do it deathless, and then
Yeah.
you can go and you can see who's done it deathless. Or for example, who's beaten you know Tarkov, gotten Kappa deathless.
Oh my god, I don't
Can
know if
you
that's even
imagine that as a
possible.
challenge?
Like, Jesus. Actually, this wipe maybe. Did oh I don't we didn't cover that change. They dropped Kappa. They dropped the
Yeah,
requirement.
55.
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't know. I feel like if you're dude, can you imagine the legendary status of someone doing Kappa deathless?
No, I
Like you can
don't
die
know
on a
if that
scav, right? You can use your scav and you can die on your scav, but on your PMC, you have to live.
I don't know if that's possible. Like
Oh, it's possible. You just have to be extremely lucky and just be the Rat King.
that is it is highly improbable that is doable. Um,
Dude, I gotta like tweet this out to like
that
some
is
of the big Tarkov names and see if like they'd be willing to fund like as like a reward the first person to get Kappa deathless.
I don't even know if like
It's possible.
yeah,
You can't
but
say it's not possible because it is.
well, okay. I'm
It's just
thinking it
extremely
is
rare.
it is physically possible. Yeah, like okay. Um what's the word I'm looking for? Like theoretically it's possible. But they
Winning the
wipe
lottery.
they wipe the game every like roughly 6 months right now. While they're
Yeah.
still developing. I don't know if there's enough time within there. Like say you get to level like 40, no
Okay.
deaths. That's going to take you a couple days of play. Like if you're being super rat king,
I
maybe
mean,
a week.
there's already people that are 40.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're also playing like 14 hours a day. So I mean, you
Yeah.
might be able to do that. But then like you die. You're going to have to reset that. So you need to make it
Mhm.
to. I ended last wipe at 54, and I had over 1,100 raids. Like you need to make it to 55,
Mhm.
and yeah,
Get all the streamer items.
that is. I don't know if there's enough time. Is the thing.
Well, I
Because
mean, there's
deaths
only one way to
will
find out.
happen. So, like, you're gonna have to reset your account.
Well, that would be it would be like $100,000 to the first person that does it, kind of thing.
Like, what would you do? Would you just like tasking? Obviously, you would have to pick and choose what tasks to do because you're not gonna go into factory and try to get like office kills. Like, you're not gonna try to do that if you're trying not to
Oh,
die.
I know. But you're pretty much gonna have to use your scav to go and get um the stuff you need for your hideout because you
It's
can
gonna
die on a
be
scav.
it's gonna be experience though. Like, you need experience.
Right, but the thing is, at higher level, like stuff for your hideout, you can craft higher level of gear.
I don't think the gear is the problem. I think you're gonna run out of experience because you're gonna need to do tasks. Tasks are where their experience is.
Yeah,
Um, like I mean, you can only farm lighthouse rogues so many times. Like you can get 25,000 XP runs pretty easy by doing that efficiently.
yeah,
But you're gonna need like once you get up over 50, that's like 250,000 XP a level. And
yeah.
like your weekly task gives you like 100K, so that's still less than half of what's necessary to level up, and that's
Talk about
one
these weekly
task.
tasks. Fucking bullshit are these weekly tasks.
I got a
I have
real simple one
I
right now. Here, let me read this to you.
mine's
Survive
80
shoreline.
headshots on PMCs.
80 headshots on PMCs.
Yes, that's my
Okay,
weekly task.
mine is the easiest. It's survive shoreline 10 times.
Okay, well,
What
shit.
one of the guys listen to this one. You think yours is dumb? 80 headshots on PMCs? Sure,
Yeah.
that's a walk in the park compared to this. One of the guys in our group has 110 scavs on factory.
In a single
110
raid.
scavs on factory. We're,
I mean,
we're like, what the
but
hell?
what's the rewards though? Because the rewards are, rewards can scale to be pretty cool. Like the scav one I have this week, I think it gives me a mutant with
Really?
BP rounds. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Actually, one of my dailies just rolled over. I actually have my hideout up right now. And
Oh.
the one that I just got was turn in 8 dog tags.
Oh, well, shit.
Sure. Yeah. Let's
I've
do
been
that.
saving all my dog tags in case they have like that wipe event where
Oh, yeah.
they use dog tags
Yeah.
as currency.
They're
That they need more of that, I think.
they are going to. Nikita said that he wants to do
Oh my gosh. What
more
about this as
events.
a trader, right? Is you have to so a trader, right, where you cannot
Mm,
use rubles or anything. Everything is barter. So
mhm.
you can get some of the best armor and stuff like that in the game and ammo, right? But it costs dog tags.
That would be
So like BP, like say like you want 100 rounds of BP ammo, right? You're
that's
gonna need
100 dog
five.
tags.
You're gonna need 5 bear and 5 USEC dog tags.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
I think that would be a sick trader idea.
That would be cool. Like then you would
Or
you would
streamer
artificially
items,
limit it. You would artificially limit the amount that people have because they need to go out and actually use it.
right?
Yeah.
So, but like also you can even use this trader to buy or to maybe it requires streamer items also.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the Lightkeeper needs.
He's probably just gonna need cash.
They said that it's gonna like trade for like he's a high-end electronics trader, but I don't know if it's gonna be cash. Oh, excuse me. Or what, but
No, I think like for example, for a slick, be two bear, two USEC dog tags for a slick.
you're gonna need more than that. Because
For a
right now
slick?
right now the trade for a slick is 4 trooper armors and some Cordura. Or is it 2 trooper armors and a Cordura?
Right, but
Something like
this will
that.
probably be enough. Right, but you can always just change that. But no, they definitely need a
When they had the dog tag
youth
event,
trader.
it was like for a slick it was like 10 dog
Okay.
tags.
Well
So
then, how about a Mark 18? What would you spend for a Mark 18? Dog tag wise.
15, 20.
I mean, I feel like
Let's see.
this is a trader. This is a trader for like the end game where people are no longer trying to upgrade their
So
their
right
hideout.
now there is you can trade. Okay, Peacekeeper has a submachine gun, has an MPX that I can trade for 7 level 8 or greater dog tags. So yeah, for a Mark 18, I would say double, maybe triple that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, even endgame, I only had, at any one time, I think I had like 70 or 80 dog tags on me. I mean, the most I had was 2 dog tag cases, so that's 200. And then I was like, why am I hoarding these? So I sold them all. And then I was like, oh shit, like they just did a dog tag event, so I screwed myself. But yeah, I mean, that's a really cool idea. I would be for that.
So I tweeted Tarkov idea to Battlestate Games. Endgame trader that you barter dog tags for the best items in the game. Thoughts?
That would be cool. Let's see what they say. What's the
Yeah.
community
Well,
think? What do you guys think?
uh, yeah. What do you guys think? Hold on, I'm gonna tag uh some of the big names. Pistilli, Landmark.
What kind of things would would our community like to see in games? Like, would you like to see, like we talked about, hard modes? Would you like to see like community driven challenges? Would you like to see like just random stuff like what we're talking about with Tarkov, to where you can use already in-game materials in different ways than what you're normally used to?
Am I missing anyone? Pistilli, Landmark, Clean. Who else should I tag in here?
I mean, if you want to get like a cynical point of view, tag Veritas. he he's always getting crapped on for always hating on Tarkov, but then always playing Tarkov, or always still playing Tarkov and talking about it.
Is Geeksy still playing?
Geeks, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he plays with Jesse Kazam every now and then.
Oh, I should have added
Lupo.
Lupo there. Okay. Damn it. I forgot Lupo.
Oh well,
But anyways, what do you say? Call it a wrap?
it's about time.
All right.
It's about time.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for tonight's episode. So be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Twitch for live content for our audio users out there. Leave a like and review of our podcast on all our major platforms like Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, or wherever you consume our media. It would help out a lot. Anything else you want to add?
No.
No? Oh, okay. You don't want to pimp yourself.
You did a great job.
Go follow our channels. You got TheAlmightyShid in his channel. You got mine at Valhalliant. Um, anything else? Anything else you want to pimp out?
We love you guys. Keep
Yeah.
viewing, keep listening, keep talking, and we'll
Yeah.
see you next week.
I'll see you next week. All right. And Chicken
Peace.
Attack, episode 9.